Looking into the hand, we look at the bones that make up the wrist, as well as the bones that make up your hand and fingers. So first off, we have the carpals. Now, this grouping of bones right here is the carpals. It's what makes up your wrist. Your carpal bones, think of the term carpal tunnel, that's your wrist. So the carpal bones, there are a total of 8 bones in this grouping. Now, right now, we're looking at a posterior view of the hand. When you look at the posterior view, you can only see 7 of the 8 bones. There's one you can only see from the anterior surface. So if we start, we'll start over here. This is the thumb. So this first bone right here, right next to the thumb, is going to be the trapezium. This is the trapezium. Now, the next bone over, this one right here, that is going to be the trapezoid bone. So trapezium, trapezoid. Next to that one, we're going to go over and then we run into the capitate bone. So this is the capitate bone. From the capitate, we're going to this last one in this row, which is the hamate bone. The hamate. Now, from these 4 bones in a row, we go to this row here, which is 3 bones on the posterior side. This first bone right here is going to be the scaphoid bone. Next to that, this one right here is going to be your lunate bone. Lunate. And the last one that's visible on the posterior surface right here, this is going to be the triquetrum bone. Triquetrum. So 7 bones visible from the posterior surface. Looking into a little more zoomed in view on these carpal bones, again, this is the posterior side now we're looking at. The posterior side carpal bones. We can see 7 on this view. We're going to start on the thumb side. This bone right here, just below your thumb, that is the trapezium. If we go right next to it, this is going to be the trapezoid. Next over, that is going to be then the capitate. And the last in this row is going to be the actual hamate bone. So 4 bones of the carpals. The other 3 bones are in this row. We'll start going down below the first row, so down here. This is going to be the scaphoid bone. Scaphoid. We then are going to have the lunate bone. The lunate bone. With the last one visible from the posterior view being the actual triquetrum bone. Triquetrum bone. Now, shifting gears from this posterior view into an anterior view, now we're looking at the anterior surface. From the anterior surface, we can see all 8 of the carpal bones. So if we again start over here by the thumb, the first one right below the thumb is going to be the trapezium. The trapezium. Next to that, this one right here is going to be the trapezoid. So the trapezoid. Moving over one more, we then run into the capitate. This is the capitate bone. And again, the last in this row is this one right here. This is the hamate bone. So the same names from the posterior surface on this anterior surface. But now the next row down here, we're able to see all 4 of the carpal bones this time. Again, we're starting on the thumb side here. This is going to be the scaphoid, which then from the scaphoid, we go to the lunate. From the lunate, we go into the triquetrum, which is this one down here. And here is the one you couldn't see on the posterior surface. This round one up top here. This round one right here is the pisiform bone. Pisiform bone. So all 8 bones of the carpals. Here we have a little more of a zoomed in view on the carpal bones for the anterior surface. To go through them again with a little closer up view here, we'll start on the thumb side. Below the thumb, this first row of bones we're seeing here, we're going to start with this one, which is going to be the trapezium bone. Trapezium. The next one over right here is the trapezoid bone. The trapezoid bone. From there, we go to the capitate bone, right here, capitate. And then over here, we end up with the hamate bone. Hamate bone. Now, because it's the anterior view, the second row of bones, we can see all 4 from the anterior view. Unlike the posterior, you can only see 3. So we'll start right down here in this second row. This is going to be the scaphoid bone. Scaphoid bone. From the scaphoid, we go over. This next one then is going to be the lunate bone. Lunate. From there, you get down to the triquetrum. This is the triquetrum. And then the one that's only visible on the anterior surface right here is the pisiform bone. That's the pisiform. But then if we move beyond that, we're going to have then our metacarpal bones. These 5 bones right here, these are the 5 metacarpal bones. Pretty much that's what would be the meat of your hand, the main chunk of your hand. Where all the muscles are in between here, these are the metacarpals. Beyond the metacarpals are going to be the actual phalanges. Now the phalanges, we're going to have proximal, middle, and distal phalanges for fingers 2 through 5. The thumb only has a proximal and distal phalange. So if you go to the fingers that are fingers 2 through 5, you have a proximal, middle, and then distal phalange. So think about it. Your thumb only has 1 joint in it, while the other 4 fingers have 2 joints. That's because fingers 2 through 5 have that middle phalange. So that's what we're looking at for the hand carpal bones, metacarpals, and the phalanges, proximal, middle, and distal.